this video, which is the second video on non-harmonic tones, I'm going to be looking at passive non-harmonic tones. Last time we talked about the different types of non-harmonic tones that there were and the different names for non-harmonic tones that all essentially mean the same thing, and we kind of defined that by non-harmonic tone we mean a note that doesn't fit in the harmony, that is somehow not part of the prevailing harmony and therefore creates a dissonant tension. And whether that tension is mild and therefore passive, or quite distinct, quite noticeable in the texture and therefore a very active tension, the difference between that is still included. All of that, whether it's active or passive, it's still a non-harmonic tone. Anytime you have notes that do not fit in the harmony, they are non-harmonic, and we have to know how to handle those. So let's look specifically at some of these passive non-harmonic tones. Here are the different types that you can encounter. Now, in this illustration, I haven't written all the harmony out. I've just got what essentially would be perhaps the melody line, or even one of the inner lines. It might be an alto line or a tenor line. And it contains non-harmonic tones, but obviously as I say, all the harmony isn't there. So you need to know where would the harmony be occurring. So in these cases, the harmony is occurring on the strong beats, here and here. That's where the harmony is occurring. And this is the note then that is dissonant. And because these are passive non-harmonic tones, the dissonant note is going to happen between the harmony. There's going to be strong harmonic entities going on, strong harmonic feel going on, and these non-harmonic entities are going to occur in between that, for the most part, where these are concerned. So this is the first one. This is a passing tone. You have two notes a third apart and you link them with the note in the middle. These can go up or down, that doesn't matter. It's called a passing tone, where a note passes between two harmonic tones. Here again, here's the harmony, and here is the non-harmonic tone. This is called an upper neighbor, where you move up to the note above and back down to a note in a harmony. The harmony can change here. This could be one chord, and this could be a second chord, a different chord, but this note would not fit in either of those chords. And that's what makes it an upper neighbor. It's just a little adjustment, a little rocking, if you will, up above and back down to two notes that are in the harmony. The lower neighbor then, again the harmony here and here, the lower neighbor is the opposite of the upper neighbor. It goes to the note below and back up. Very straightforward in many respects. The appoggiatura is, this is the non-harmonic tone, the harmony is here. In this case it is in fact a little more, it can be a little more active, because the harmony might occur here, in which case you've got a kind of a clash that needs to be resolved. So this is where this idea of passive and active, it gets a little blurred sometimes. So this can be a little more active in its own way, but again, the appoggiatura can also occur, it could be written differently, and the appoggiatura may occur where it's very passive, like this, where you might have the same, basically the same notes, but occurring in between the harmony, like this. This would also be an appoggiatura, this time the non-harmonic tone happening in between the harmony in a passive way. An escape tone, this is where there is a step down. Notice that this is a leap and a step. That's the characteristic of the appoggiatura, a leap then a step. The escape tone is the opposite, a step then a leap, a step then a leap. And here's the harmony, step away from the harmony, leap back up into the harmony. This is this one is called successive neighbor tones. This is where you have harmony going on, and then these notes are non-harmonic, and the harmony continues. You come back into the harmony at the end. And so this is like having an upper neighbor and a lower neighbor in quick succession. You go up and down and then back to the main note. So this is called successive neighbors. It's kind of related to this, kind of like if you took this and strung it together in some way. Okay. This one down here is called an anticipation. This is where you have a harmony here and another harmony here, and the second harmony is anticipated. This is quite common at the end of pieces in the Baroque era, although it happens throughout the common practice era, but where you have a little emphasis on the just anticipating the final chord. And we'll look at some examples of that in class. This final one here is called a pedal tone. The pedal tone is where you have, this is the dissonant note, and sometimes it's dissonant and sometimes it's consonant. It is a note that is held. It's called a pedal tone because one way of doing this on an organ was simply to hold your foot on a pedal note in the pedal board and just keep that running as a constant and then playing other harmonies around the top. And sometimes the harmony on the top fits and sometimes the harmony does not fit. And so at different times you hear notes above a pedal tone that are in consonant with, they fit in the harmony of the pedal tone, and the pedal tone's a part of the harmony, and sometimes you hear notes where it does not fit with the harmony. The pedal tone is aggravating the harmony. So this is another of those ones. It's sort of passive, it's sort of active, and it kind of depends on what is going on above the pedal tone. But anytime you have a long sustained note and other harmonies are happening above it, or sometimes even below it, the sustained note can be in higher parts as well with other harmonies going below. Anytime you have that sustained note and other harmonies going on around it, you've got a pedal tone going on. You can circle, or you can ignore the pedal tone when it comes to analyzing the harmony. It's an important part of the effect, but it is not necessary to be counted in the harmony. So these are passive, more or less passive non-harmonic tones, where the non-harmonic material happens in between two chords. For the most part, a little bit different here on the pedal tone, and in the first way that we looked at the poggiatorio is a little bit different too. We will look next, in the next video, at some more active non-harmonic tones, and those are a little bit more involved, so we'll get into that in the next video. Again, try and get your mind around this material, but like many things in music theory, it's good to know this, it's good to have this introduction, but you'll really get to grips with this when we start putting these into our four-part harmonic progressions. And so we will do that in class, and as we start to do that in class, I think these will make more sense. But you should at least have an understanding of what we mean by a passing tone, an upper neighbor, and escape tone. Just know that you can define those things and that you're comfortable with those things, so that then when we come to apply them into our four-part harmony exercises, it's not completely foreign to you. Thank you.